the Church of Scientology is so afraid of.
This is SPTV.
Hello, you guys. Hello, Power Surgers. Hello, hello, hello. You guys have given yourselves that name, Power Surgers, because our power is surging, you guys. Isn't that great? It's surging. We are going up on a Tuesday. We're going up on a Saturday. Happy Saturday, everyone. Hello, enjoy the silence. Hi, grounded for truth. We got Malinis. We got Gypsy. What's up, Gypsy? Maluise Travels. Amanda. What's up, LA News? Hamilton. All of you guys. Welcome to the Saturday SPTV, where every literal day of the week, you guys, we ask ourselves the same exact question. What in the literal hell is Scientology so afraid of? What could it be, you guys? What could it be? Because every day that we're showing up outside that center, they're definitely getting afraid of that. Although they are also kind of pretending that they're not pressed anymore. They're kind of pretending like, oh yeah, let's just get all the staff members from the streets anymore. Let's not do that recruitment thing that we were doing before. And they'll be gone in a month. This is, and they are talking to their little buddies at the LAPD, you guys. Apparently, they are having some little conversations for themselves, because as we're all here on this journey of power to survivors, actually empowering survivors and being united and really understanding that we are not going to be divided, as we united this week with Eat Predators, and as we united this week with so many members of our community that are standing outside of those centers. And it's not like they're really protesting. It's really just like they're on a evidence gathering mission. They just keep showing everyone in the world what in the literal hell they're doing inside of those centers. And the people in those centers keep pretending that, we're the crazy ones. We're the ones that are really crazy, like, because, we're getting paid. That's the little pitch that they're saying. Oh, you're just doing it because you're getting paid. And a lot of us, fortunately for us, get paid a lot more not doing what in the hell we're doing. So we're just doing it for fun. Isn't that great, you guys? Because it is fun. It is a party. It's a party of transparency. It's a party of literally start getting what in the hell is actually going on. And definitely follow my friend Aja Hollywood on TikTok, because I just posted her video where, the little cozy police, you guys, and we got the receipts, LAPD. So y'all could not be trying to play dumb as if the whole community doesn't have every single last shred of eyeballs on y'all. As if we're just like, oh, we have no idea what in the hell we're talking about. We couldn't be more clueless. Really be wasting our time on a literal corner. But, we are making the best out of it. We are making that, you guys. We are actually having fun and actually communicating with people. And it's great. It's great to feel on the other side of the spectrum that we are the ones collecting the receipts and the evidence, so that we can really start packaging this all to really put some banker boxes together and send, Chief Moore, if he's still even around, because I heard he's not even around, you guys. He's getting replaced, I think, or something. Audit LA, isn't Commander Moore getting replaced? I thought I saw something about him getting replaced, but allegedly, you guys, I don't know if we're still going to have the same LAPD person doing it, but Um, yeah, so it's very, very cozy, you guys. We have that video from Age of Hollywood where, the LAPD is like fraternizing with security guards of these buildings because, yes, they couldn't be more bros. They couldn't be more bros, those two, is what we're really seeing on the streets, you guys. Like, literally, like, interesting. How come the cops never really come to my building to chat it up? Like, I've never had a relationship with the police, you guys, where they're just, hey, we want to chat it up. Oh, thank you, Audit LA. Retiring at the end of February. Police more, you guys. Well, let's really see who comes and replaces him because, whoever replaces him is going to have a lot of messes in his hands to really clean up for himself. So maybe more retiring in February. It's great news, you guys. We really need to change the actors, participants of the corruption that we've all actually been the victims of, as if the literal law enforcement centers, you guys, that are supposed to enforce laws, we pay the LAPD to enforce laws. The laws state that trafficking and slavery of minors is illegal. The laws state that locking up passports in a literal lock and key away from minors is an actual criminal thing, you guys. And I know I'm a little all over the place here, but we really have to go a little all over the place today, you guys, because here's a little community tab that I put about passports, getting your passport locked up. And let's just read this for the LAPD, you guys. Just, us that grew up in a cult. Scientology passport lockdown of minors. In recent revelations exposing the dark underbelly of Scientology practices, it needs to be brought up the light that the organization systemically locked up our passports as minors within their hotels. This egregious act not only violates fundamental rights, but also stands as a blatant criminal offense under various legal frameworks. Isn't that great, LAPD? That there are legal frameworks that y'all are ignoring, that y'all are pretending to be like, you know what, today would be a great day to literally play dumb and pretend that there's no legal frameworks surrounding the systemic, institutionalized locking of passports and IDs of every last shred of minor that ends up employed by these people. The ones that y'all are really pressed to really protect. So it would be great for the LAPD to start putting statements that make a lot more sense. And we're going to get into exactly that in a minute, you guys. We really are going to come with a receipt because we're not just here doing this, LAPD. We're not doing that. We don't have time for that. We don't have literally the bandwidth for that. FYI, CC all LAPD people, especially the Human Trafficking Division. LAPD, the sergeant that really did, you guys go check that video that I made where he's living it up with Marisol Nichols from the Scientology Center, Celebrity Center, that really, takes it upon herself to say, yeah, I was just writing cars with all the narc detectives, writing cars with, the human trafficking head of the LAPD, because I was really researching a role and I really infiltrated them for 3 years and I was sent there as a honeypot by OSA. And, that's all it took for me to infiltrate and really purport that I'm the poster child of really what trafficking is not about. Apparently, Marisol Nichols, you guys. Oh, yeah. Trafficking happens in motels that are run down that me and that guy, you guys, the Mormon guy that was also grifting and anyways, back to the passports. According to international standards, passports are personal property See that, Osa? Passports are personal property. They're not Valdocs. Are they? Or are they Valdocs? Because y'all were telling us as literal children, give us your Valdocs. No one can keep their Valdocs. Give us the Valdocs. Let's really log it here that we grabbed your passport. We locked it under key. We have the log. We incriminated ourselves because L. Ron Hubbard told us to really log everything. And then all of a sudden, logging it and doing it full knowing wasn't going to be a felony is what in the hell Osa thinks, you guys. Imagine being Mike Rinder's proteges that are still running the sham. You, Ben Shaw. You, Glenn Stylo. You, Kathy True. You, Sarah Heller, grandfathered in from the cadet org. So it is personal property, you guys, and restricting access to them constitutes a clear AF infringement on an individual's freedom. For minors, this act becomes even more concerning as it hinders their ability to leave the premises, effectively restricting their mobility and autonomy. Isn't that great, you guys? That the head of the LAPD, and I don't have that video, you guys, right now, and y'all can go and check it, but Human Trafficking Division is having a really great informative podcast and is showing up to the podcast in full uniform, representing the LAPD and Scientology's chummy relationship. Chummy AF is what in the hell it's called, you guys. Chummy AF, like literally fraternizing, all there on the public record, because no one is ever going to hold us accountable. And the community couldn't be more asleep because, yes, in Los Angeles, you can have as many buildings as you want to grab a hold of as many minors from as many countries as you want to fly them in from. Sweden, yes. Italy, yes. Mexico, yes. Venezuela, yes. Argentina, yes. Colombia, sure. Sebastian, that's been disappeared. Nowhere to be found now, you guys. Nowhere to be found. And yes, now what? Sebastian is what? Getting abused AF. We wouldn't wish what is being done to Sebastian right now, you guys, on our worst enemy. Locked up against his will, washing bathroom toilets with his tongue, with whatever disgusting, degrading thing they want to do to him, uriatic acid. That's what they were having me as a minor. Imagine there was never even like a concern, you guys. It's like they just are fair game. That little policy that, you know, L. Ron Hubbard did type for himself, and then Mike Rinder really did get all his proteges to really do. But this is fair game internal. So Mike Rinder always talks about, oh yeah, we really were, you know, destroying attorneys' lives that wanted to come after them. And we really were, you know, acting unhinged with other adults that really did get a lot of problems for themselves as adults. Great. Great that you had those problems. Now, we were being fair game as children inside of the hotel. That's what was going on. So U.S. laws on passport control under U.S. law, particularly, and really write this one down in your notes, OSA people that are literally listening. The Passport Act, 22 U.S.C. 212, CCU, Monique Yingling, and all of the other attorneys from Scientology really on payrolls, you know, cashing it up every month. Yes, I'll defend you. Yes, you couldn't be more doing everything per the law because we really are consulting you to what? Follow the law inside of those hotels? Are you kidding me? Are you literally kidding me? That is the most ridiculous whole thing about this, you guys. Like, and we're going to be doing a whole thing on all the attorneys that are implicated Best attorneys you can literally find in America. Apparently, Scientology found a way to rope them in as well. Imagine that, you guys. Scientology predators that they are, they didn't only go after kids. They went after attorneys. They're like, you know what? Those attorneys are idiotic AF. We'll just throw them some money and then they'll just be like, oh yeah, sure, I'll be a client-attorney relation. I'll defend everything. Can I just do an inspection through your hotel? Oh, hell no. Hell no. Hell no. You don't understand. L. Ron Hubbard really had a lot of great ideas for himself, you know. Yeah, L. Ron Hubbard, just if you don't understand L. Ron Hubbard, then you're not going to understand the hotel. So better stay and just cash your check. I mean, just cash it. And then whoever says anything about us, put any whatever false statement you want, just type whatever in the hell you want. Oh, everyone's unhinged. Everyone's filing frivolous, whateverless. That's all their statements are, you guys. Frivolous, whateverless is what they answer everything with. So, hey, what about, oh, it's just frivolous, whateverless. So under that literal passport act, individuals, regardless of age, are entitled to have access to their passports. Why didn't we have access to our passports, Mike Rinder? Why didn't we have access to our passports, David Miscavige? Since you were the chairman of the board, your junior Debbie Cook should have told you that she was locking up the passport, or were you literally not informed? Are we saying that you, David Miscavige, have no clue that passports are getting locked up? Yes or no? Because your juniors need to report everything to you and to all your other minions underneath you. And again, you guys, these people really need to clear the definition of racketeering, conspiracy, and operating as a team, knowing what each other was doing and thinking and cooperating thereby and therewith. Because that little definition that y'all really took so serious, so to the letter, is going to be very, very hard for you to discuss with your attorneys that really are defending you, that really have great ideas of pitches they're going to type to whatever court in the United States is going to just grab whatever and without critical thinking skills, take it. Because that's how it's gone so far, you guys. That's literally what's on the public record. It's not our opinion, you guys. You go look, you go double check. If I'm hyperbolizing anything, by all means, bring the receipt and say, oh no, look, Serge, they really did write the right thing here. They really did write it right. And you couldn't be more out of your mind. Oh, I'm sorry. We stand corrected. Oh, yeah, sure. Retracted. The act explicitly prohibits withholding or confiscating passports except in cases authorized by law. So you, LAPD, by all means, tell us, why was our case authorized by a hotel to lock up our passports? Since y'all are so chummy, since y'all are so familiar, since y'all do events together, since y'all take 20 grand in checks and take photos and really, let's really show the community how we really are protecting it together. Because, you know, maybe we are completely misinformed, you guys, and maybe the LAPD did authorize for our passports to be locked up as minors. And we would love to know why that was. Because apparently, per the Passport Act, 22 USC 2112, it says, don't do that. That's what it says. In your own legal schmiegel definitions of the actual law. So why in the hell are there 0 cases of trafficking opened at any of these so-called law enforcement agencies? Can anyone please advise? Hello? Hi, LAPD. Can you advise? Can you really let us know what in the hell is going on? Can you literally make it make sense? Locking up passports without lawful authority, especially those of minors. So really listen up. Because we literally know there's 21 and unders, even inside that literal hotel, you guys. So all of you, it's not a Christie's Hotel. That's what the center is operating on in Hollywood Boulevard. You guys, I've shown it to you a million times now. There's the 3 buildings, all the stuff upstairs, all the converted rooms where all the adults that signed up to be part of this scheme, 501c sham, really do go and sleep at night. How they sleep at night, it would be great to know. Because literally, how do you sleep at night doing what in the hell you do? It'd be great to be asking that to yourselves in front of a mirror. Every single last shred of adult that is inside of those hotels, you guys, I don't give a shred of an F. You're 21 and over and doing what? Entitling yourself to do what exactly? Fill in the blank. Y'all, the Scientologists, you fill in the blank. Why do we have to tell you what in the hell you're doing wrong? Then that means you're taking no responsibility. Then you try to make it, oh yeah, you guys are exaggerating. Well, then tell us what it was. By all means, use your words, use your adult words and your language and your First Amendment to really tell us what it was. Because a religious experience, if that's how you want to pitch it, that is going to sound disgusting, given that the facts are exposed for what they are, not what the convenient version of whatever delusion y'all bought from L. Ron Hubbard, including but not limited to this passport thing that we're looking up and talking about right now. Because the act of locking up passports within Scientology compounds goes beyond a mere violation of passport regulations, you guys. This was not just some sort of little, glitch in the administrative system. It implicates the organization in criminal conspiracy. Isn't that great, you guys? Isn't that literally great? That it's not just an administrative, oh, oops, we should have told you that it was not a valuable document. We shouldn't have lied to you as a 15-year-old and changed the definition of what reality is. If this is a passport, if this gets me from Mexico to the United States, that is called a passport. So why was Debbie Cook calling it a Val doc? Why was Glenn Stylo calling it a Val doc? Why was Alfonso Barcenas Jr. calling it a Val doc? A literal minor, another minor that was made that this inspector of inspections and reports back when I was in the literal hotel cult, you guys. So everybody was calling it something else other than what it was. Why? Why was that done? Why? Who did that benefit? Because, it's taking us till this year 2024 to literally ask that simple question. And the LAPD, really should be typing a statement to answer that real quick. Just real quick. Answer that quickly. We don't need a big blah, blah, blah. Literally get to the point quickly. Because we have zero bandwidth for blah, blah, blah. And, you're so confused. We're not confused. That we're not. We're literally clear AF. Isn't that great, you guys? We've all achieved the state of clear. We've all achieved it, you guys. Like, we had our graduation yesterday. Y'all are getting the certificate for it couldn't be more clear. And we couldn't be, we're not confused. Like, confused is not any type of our emotional bandwidth anymore. We couldn't be more clear. So, yeah. So it turns out that by systemically locking up passports, Scientology engages in premeditated act that restricts the freedoms of minors and involves a coordinated effort to control their movement. This falls under the definition of conspiracy raising serious legal concerns. Scientology's actions are not only morally reprehensible, but demand legal accountability. I mean, what do y'all think? Are we living in a literal city that purports to have law enforcement, or are we living in a literal city where as long as you host the LAPD at your little hotel, as long as you just do that, you guys literally like, hey, let's just all just have a little hotel thing here at the Rose Garden or whatever the hell they call it. Yeah, have it. It'll be for free. It'll be for free. Meanwhile, they're already sending their little, who could we recruit? Who could we grab? But don't worry, you guys. They're not trying to grab every last person and help them. Remember, they're only just trying to be, oh, you qualify. They're not going to recruit, for example, just just think about this for a second. They're never gonna let a single person that works for the LAPD end up in the Sea Org. Why is that? Why didn't someone that had a, uncle that was the head of the, inspector general of the police department, doesn't qualify? You don't qualify to be in the Sea Org. You don't qualify to save the entire planet. Isn't that great, you guys, that the LAPDs, all the kids of the LAPD are safe, you guys. So don't get this twisted. Don't start crying for the officers and saying, oh my God, they're really going to have their kids implicated because, Scientology is going to expose them to everything that Serge, Laura, Nora, Liz, everybody went through. Oh my God, we really have to save the kids of the police too because, they're also getting scammed by Scientology. And we really should all grab Kleenex and start crying. Don't worry about it. They're not going to get implicated. They don't qualify. They simply do not qualify. They're security risk. Imagine, you guys, that's literally what they called it. Oh, that's a security risk. He's not going to qualify. So go get someone else that's a qualified recruit. Everyone had to be a qualified recruit. So initiating a criminal conspiracy by unlawfully restricting minors' access to their passports carries severe legal consequences, y'all. Or, by all means, make it all make sense. Legal proceedings against such practices could include charges of child endangerment, kidnapping, or false imprisonment. Isn't that great, you guys? Imagine that our parents were being literally paying a random in a hotel to kidnap us, because that's what in the hell it's called. So all of you Scientology parents that want to really say, oh my God, we really thought it was gonna, you have a great time there getting locked up against your will where you couldn't leave, and we all were all knowing. You couldn't scream loud enough. You couldn't say no loud enough. You couldn't leave the goddamn literal hotel room, that you were being locked up and nauseatedly, disgustingly abused with a shred of boundary to put up. Because they were really pressed to make sure that you had no boundaries there. That's the relationship. You're the auditor. You're the PC. Let's really record this. Let's really, because that is what Scientology is, you guys. As if Scientology is not Paramount, a movie studio creating movies that they all watch. But you know what? You know what in the hell is called Scientology? And you can go check this for your literal self real quick. And I'm sorry, guys, this is going to be dark AF. So trigger warning, shut the screen. I'm not going to even say the word. But I am going to write it because that is what in the hell is called. Just how, did you guys see that documentary about like the cats, like what they were doing to the cats? And let's just leave it at that because it's disgusting. Yeah, that type of filmery of like horrific, disgusting, unthinkable torture is called this. This film. Films where kids are locked up against their will for 5 hours, screaming, yelling, saying, I don't know what in the hell you are saying. Why am I going to another lifetime, getting disassociated, being told that they literally need to find a time they raped somebody 20,000 years ago because that's why they are getting raped inside of the hotel. Because, oh yeah, didn't you do that 20,000 years ago? Oh yeah, it's all making sense. It's all making a lot of sense. So that's the little films that they're all watching, and they're all the executives. Oh yeah, let's really watch. Let's really watch. Let's really see. Let's really advise. Right, Claire? Because that would be a great video for you to do. The listen, looking in system from RTC, where you were watching everything. If anything went wrong, it was your fault when you were the RTC pack. So just talk about that one, the one that you know. RTC pack. How many things were you watching in those screens? And what was really going on in those sessions? The devil's in the details. So miss us with the superfluous. No, details. What did you watch? What did you see? Who did you advise? What did you write down on pieces of paper? What were you interested in knowing? Yes, L. Ron Hubbard told you to know all that stuff. Blame it on him. Blame it on your mother for subjecting you to that. Blame it on Dave and Shelley for making you the third in command. Just blame it on them. We don't give a literal shred of an F. That's the context. That's the context. Is anyone taking that away from you? Absolutely not. It's the context where you have to contextualize. So let's really hear from the RTC people that really had the full-blown access to see everything going on in all hotels. Let's really hear it from you about that, because get into the nitty-gritty. Why were kids sent to the RPF? Why? And since you are the president of the aftermath, speak from that position as the aftermath president that you are. And you too, my Grinder, chime in by all means. By all means, as the whatever in the hell you are now in that new 501c. By all means, tell us. Tell us about that. Tell us, why was that video recorded? Tell us about that. Because how Ron Hubbard told you to isn't going to be a shred of any type of defense. In case you haven't noticed, in case, again, you know what the legal stuff is. So by all means, explain that type of stuff. Get into the weeds of what auditing is. Get into it. Get into it. And by all means, be disgusted and revolted. Because that's not what we see. It's what's on the public record. Everything couldn't be more whitewashed. Everything couldn't be more, David is unhinged. And we all had a clue what in the hell we were doing. And we were just really trying to save the world while he was trying to, put us in a trailer. Make it all about yourselves and your adult disillusions with the way that, Dave took the 501c that y'all were trying to grift out of. It's pathetic. Literally pathetic. Legal proceedings against such practices could include charges of child endangerment, kidnapping, and false imprisonment. Isn't that great, you guys? These charges could not only target individual perpetrators, but extend to the organization as a whole, holding responsible for fostering an environment that facilitates these criminal AF literal acts. The revelations of Scientology's systemic lockdown of passports for minors exposes a disturbing facet of the organization's operations. It is imperative for legal authorities, CCLAPD, CC Clearwater Police, CCFDLE, and CC all the other whatever enforcers that are supposed to be enforcing anything around. Since y'all are nowhere to be found to enforce a shred of a law, CC y'all. So if you didn't know that they did this inside these hotels, then start finding out. Start asking your buddies. Yo, where are the passports? Yo, how many minors are inside of y'all's thing? Because the community couldn't be more sick that that's what in the hell is going on. The community can be more disgusted. We're not paying y'all at the LAPD. We're not paying y'all at the Clearwater Police. So y'all can have your little fraternity thing going with these people. Well, who's paying y'all's salary? The community. So not Scientology. We have to literally subsidize y'all and them. So by all, make it make sense. Please make it make sense. Just literally pitch something that makes sense. Because if you see us a little like, not really like happy-go-lucky right now, that's why. That's why. That's the only reason why we wouldn't be happy-go-lucky right now. The cited U.S. laws make it clear that the act of locking up passports is not only an infringement on individual rights, but a criminal offense. The legal system must act swiftly to address these violations and hold those responsible accountable. As if that's literally not what in the hell they're supposed to be all law and justice about, you guys. Oh, you F up big time, you're held accountable. Isn't that simple? What is complicated about that? What is literally so complicated? Why does everybody act like holding people accountable would be so hard? Because literally what? Literally what? You know, it's either than me, I'm crazy and unhinged and don't know what in the hell I'm talking about. I was the literal exception to the rule. All minors else had their passports. Everyone had their passport. Everyone was free and go, but except for me. No. We got plenty of corroborating kids that grew up in this who didn't have their passport either, who had to ask for their passport every time they needed to go get their visa renewed. I mean, you guys, even that, like even the people that had to go get their visas renewed, like if they didn't get their visa renewed, you don't even want to know what they would do. But it's like, you're going to get demoted. You're going to be sent to another org. You just literally sabotaged the post. You didn't send a replacement. And then they're like, you need to go now find a replacement, someone else that you need to send over here. I mean, gross. The era of hiding behind religious protection to perpetrate criminal acts must come to an end. In this year 2024, it must come to a full-blown stop, especially when it involves the exploitation of and the endangerment of minors. No more playing dumb, y'all. If you were a parent turning over passports fully knowing that they would be locked up, y'all might want to check in and make sure that you would not also be personally implicated. That would be a great question to be asking right about now in this year 2024. Right or wrong? Because that literally leads us to what we're talking about right now, you guys, here in this exact video title. Because let's just leave the passports there for the LAPD and the people that are all about the administrative crimes that they can really prove, because maybe then they could start a criminal investigation. Never mind that they were doing more disgusting criminal acts to us. But those are so hard to prove. And those have like such crazy, everything's out of statutes of limitations. You really should have realized this when it all happened to you, is what we're being told. So none of us have a case. So all of you, Serge, start a case. We don't have a case. The LAPD doesn't give an F. The Clio Police gives less of an F. So we don't have a case. We're civil attorneys, they literally need a ton of money to even put into this. And since they know that Scientology is going to run this to the ground for another 20 years, as long as they can, nobody wants to touch this with a 10-foot pole, because any civil attorney that is running a business, turns out, has to like go, I need to invest $25 million just to get here. And then, you know, since the courts really do want to play dumb, we can't read the writings of an indicted convicted felon. Judges of the United States of America make that sentence make sense to us, the kids that were under the influence of a convicted, indicted, born American bred God that you are all under a delusion about. That's y'all's delusion. That's y'all's lack of what is called due diligence in the law. So if you really took Monique Yingling to her word on all her little affidavits and pitches that this couldn't be more religious, this couldn't be more nonprofit, this couldn't be more helping the world, to really go and check with that woman. Go and check with her quickly. Because as if this is not full-blown legal malpractice, what in the hell was done with us? And as if the law hasn't told us in a million technical, legal, schmeagle ways, no, you don't have any rights. You know, everything is expired. Everything is so complicated. Better luck next lifetime. Just like our predators told us. Better luck next lifetime. You shouldn't have been, you know, raping somebody 20 million years ago, because that's why now you're getting raped. Not great, you guys. Just 20,000 million years ago, and now it's happening to you again because you are pulling it in as a child. So you, United States federal judges that purport to really uphold laws and really have a very whatever system that the hell you have, start explaining yourselves, because apparently it's the courts of these United States that have propped up slavery again to the shores, that brought it back to America to literally bring it the hell back. If that got canceled in the Constitution, y'all went, Constitution, who did a shred of an F about the Constitution? Like, quickly put a pitch, write it down, get the IRS. Hey, whatever. We want to literally get tax write-offs as we literally launder felonies inside of these hotels, because they were very pressed to find out what was the felony that a person committed, what was the self-incrimination, what was the Fifth Amendment right that they were going to literally wipe their you-know-whats with, because they were in the business of selling people that, you guys. Oh, wouldn't it be great to have a hotel where you can just come and really relieve yourselves of, have you committed any felonies for which you have not been arrested? Those are the dynamics in those sessions. So you at the LAPD that really wants to act very, I can't know anything because it couldn't be more religious, pay attention and hear it. Hear what in the hell they do in the sessions, because, you know, we really have had to write it down to see if we can distill it down to what in the hell it is, so y'all can like stop playing dumb for once in your life. Literally for once in your literal life. So in the murky halls of Scientology hotels, the practice of auditing has thrived in a realm of secrecy and indefensible basic common sense ethics. We are here to dismantle the problematic AF policies surrounding Scientology's auditing sessions, highlighting the potential legal quagmires awaiting an organization that recklessly subjects both children and adults to practices that defy sensibility and ends up being systemic dehumanization. If you are an adult, 21 and over, you can consent to be dehumanized. If you are a child, 21 and under, you should have no way of consenting to being dehumanized. So we could not make this easier for y'all at the LAPD. Okay, if y'all are really pressed to enforce the law at establishments that serve, including but not limited to alcohol, this all gets solved very simply by ensuring no shred of person that is not of this age is in said establishment. So if y'all really don't want to get to, the adults are going to get pressed and they're really, you're infringing our rights, leave the adults inside the hotel. Leave them there. Let them do whatever in the literal hell they want to do with themselves. Additionally, we unveil the disturbing delusion of adults pretending that kids are merely adults in small bodies, leading to a complete absence of common sense guardrails within the context of these measures. We are sounding an alarm. Code red. Code red. The kids are stuck in there today, not yesterday, not the 20 years ago, not 50 years. Oh no, 50 years. Oh no, since L. Ron Hubbard started. As if literally David Miscavige wasn't trafficked by his own father across state lines as a 16-year-old. As if Debbie Cook wasn't trafficked by her own parent when she was 15 years old. As if all of them, well, great, then go take it up with your own parent, Mike Rinder. You can have your own case to make to your own parents who exposed you to this. It was their fault. Blame it on them. And then blame yourself on what in the hell you did as a grown adult. That's what's incumbent on you now. Because you did become a full-grown adult at one point in your life, believe it or not. You were not an adult in a baby body or whatever in the hell pitch you did buy from L. Ron Hubbard. The auditor's code inside Scamology's hotels is the literal recipe to utter manipulation. At the heartless heart of Scientology's auditing sessions is the auditor's code. Okay, you guys? So you really need to start understanding what in the hell the auditor's code is, which is a sinister set of guidelines seemingly crafted to manipulate rather than to enlighten. So as much as Scientology is like, yeah, we're going to save the planet. We're really going to enlighten you. Let's really groom you. Let's really indoctrinate you. That's what in the hell they called it, you guys. Indoctrinate your PC. Indoctrinate your PC. So why in the hell were you guys calling it indoctrination as if you didn't know that it was literal indoctrination? Because that would be great to really type for yourselves in your little blogs. Revive your defunct blog, Marty Rathbun, and type it up. And you, Mike Rinder, write it up right there in your blog. You've been typing and typing and typing away, but none of this is in there, is it? The auditor's comments to never allow the PCs to end the session on their own determinism raises serial ethical concerns. And we're talking real ethical concerns, not the type of ethical concerns y'all in that pathetic hotel were role-playing for yourselves, like little good infantilized bunch of pathetic idiots. Oh yeah, One Hubbard did write it on a policy. Let's really role-play it inside the hotel. We're handling an ethics. We're handling an ethics. That doesn't mean anything. Y'all were playing infantile games with things that were not so infantile, giving that actual ethics that you were selling, ethics that people were buying, were nothing but a complete sham. And y'all would know. Y'all would literally know since you were such experts at it. So the auditor's commitment to never allow the PC to end the session on their own determinism raises serial ethical concerns. Yet, let's go from 0 to a billion real quick. This provision becomes a nightmarish tool when wielded against children, stripping them of the autonomy to decide their own comfort level. That's what we're advocating, you guys. Why are kids not able to literally decide their own comfort level inside of one of these audits? Why? Why was it up to us to just take it and take it and take it and be asked disgusting questions and have randoms just have their way with us and get locked up there, get locked up there, get locked up there? It's like, I've talked to enough kids, you guys. There's literally 100+ kids that I've touched that are under the radar, that are here, that I've known from the past, whatever. It's like, let's really hear who was not disassociated by being strapped under these type of level of disgusting, unhinged power dynamics that are so indefensible that we would have been very, very groomed to think there was not a shred of red flag when we were doing it. Literally could have not been more groomed to believe that there was a shred of good faith in what in the hell we were getting exposed to. Imagine being locked up inside those hotels without random, without a shred of agency. Now imagine you're 12 years old, as it was in our literal case, to cite specifics and be the literal testimony of what in the hell I'm talking about. The delusions of the adult and the adult pretense, stripping common sense guardrails. Scientology perpetuates a dangerous delusion that children are simply miniature adults, an absurd premise that permeates their auditing sessions. This false pitch leads to a complete absence of common sense guardrails within the context of these measures, placing vulnerable young minds at the mercy of practices that should have no place in a rational society. In our literal, humble opinion, you guys. And yet America's currently, as we speak, pitching this as religious, straight out of whatever in the hell a convicted, indicted felon that did write some stuff in a piece of paper, that did write some delusions of grandeur that he had for himself, things he pulled out of his ass, but then the IRS purports that man is an American born, bred God. So why IRS commissioner? If something that an indicted convicted felon pulled something out of his ass, all of a sudden, the pure definition of a god, I mean, if a religion doesn't have a god, guys, then what in the hell is religion? All religions have gods. L. Ron Hubbard was pitching himself as the god, as if he didn't tell us, I'm the Messiah and I'm Buddha and I'm all these reincarnations. Disgusting. Disgusting that we are still being intellectually insulted as if we were never going to grow up. Imagine being those people, you guys, that are going to be like, oh, you're going to be dumb forever. They're going to literally be clueless AF for the rest of their lives. Well, y'all miscalculated us AF. We couldn't be more disgusted or nauseated. And we don't have a shred of answer on the public record that makes any sense. Here's the developmental psychology, a casualty of Scientology's neglect. Childhood is a fragile period of growth and self-discovery. It's recklessly trampled upon by Scientology's auditing sessions. As the organization exhibits a blatant disregard for the well-being of children, the delusion that kids can endure the same practices as adults further undermines the boundaries required by developmental psychology, revealing a disturbing lack of understanding within the organization. And before anyone even attempts or tries to give us this BS utter pitch about, oh, but Serge, psychology, they really got told that psychology was so bad. They didn't want anyone near a mandated reporter. So quit pitching that thing about how they don't like psychologists. They don't like mandated reporters. They don't want kids anywhere near mandated reporters because the sham would fall apart then. Right, Mike Rinder? Right, Marty Rathbun? Right, Dave? Isn't that why you hand select even the doctors, you guys? We really need to put your child in a Scientology place, you guys, because as if we don't have what we just covered with Zoe when she was being essayed in a school. That was a Scientology school. And our Scientology schools have any mandated reporters in there, you guys? Because breaking news, no, they don't have no one mandating nothing. They literally write reports on each other and send them to OSA and incriminate all of themselves inside their little washing machine of abuse and being disgusting, depraved, entitled degenerates. The fact that it's all video recorded and watched and transcribed shreds any justification for being implicated in such. Because where is the plausible deniability is the question that we are asking all Scientology executives and parents as a full-blown collective, all of y'all. Explain your plausible deniability. Oh, I didn't know the sessions were like that. Well, tell us how you were not in the know about the auditor's code. Please. Legal implications, religious facade unraveling recent legal battles, such as those involving Ruby Franke and Lori DeVallo, have pierced through the religious facade that Scientology hides behind. Courts have unequivocally rejected religious justifications for criminal acts against minors. Placing Scientology's auditors squarely in the legal crosshairs to their complicity in infringing upon the rights of vulnerable children. Scientology's audacious abuse of power, coupled with a delusional belief in the false pitch that kids are miniature adults, demands not just criticism, but condemnation and all laws actively being shredded and used for all manner of people to wipe their literal you-know-whats with actually dealt with. As the world evolves, we are demanding unequivocally that all practices, including but not limited to Predator-ology ethics, Predator-ology audits, Predator-ology security checks and courses that harm on their very face are most vulnerable and most unmasked. Has to be dismantled. No kid can consent to whatever in the hell they're getting exposed to. The law should hold accountable those who perpetuate harm against minors, especially those who hide behind the cloak of religion, which is nothing more than a sham 501c that has turned into a wide-ranging criminal racketeering scheme that seeks to justify their sinister actions by pretending that they are something that they are not and that they have never been. It's time for society to forcefully reject Scientology's audacious exploitation of power, especially when it comes to our most precious, our children. So those are the notes and the receipts to really start putting on the public record, you guys, so that all of these law enforcement agencies that are playing dumb, so that all of these lawyers that are really, really certain that they can continue cashing checks ad nauseum, literally collecting blood money on the backs of kids. That is what Monique Yingling has literally been eating. That is what Monique Yingling has been using to fund her little lifestyle of like, oh yeah, I really am a lawyer that can really know what in the hell I'm doing. That woman is literally eating the blood of every child stuck in the hotel, sacrificed by their parents. And you wonder why we have not a shred of case filed on behalf of any kid implicated in this, because their parents couldn't be more implicated themselves. But everybody has reached out to Cradle and Canoodle because you were really in a cult, and apparently that's all it took. Until this year, that's all it took for it to all be whitewashed and forgive and forget. Let's really move on. Well, you know what? Nothing changes if nothing changes. So let's not forgive and forget a shred of a thing. Let's actually go back and do the heavy lifting required to actually get something done and actually changed, and not just blah, blah, blah. Let's really do another segment to really talk to the people about Tom Cruise, because we really need to know what Tom Cruise is doing, because we really need to know why he keeps telling us to read Dianetics. Because isn't he such a great movie star? Isn't he someone that really we should all want to be like? The Scientology celebrities could not be any more implicated themselves. Y'all were the ones with the big donations to this disgusting 501c scam that you were all paid members to. So as soon as you try to be like, oh, but this, y'all have a paid membership to this shit. Find out how many other churches out there are requiring paid memberships, are requiring security checks before, okay, yeah, we will accept you. As I told you guys, no one in the LAPD was going to ever qualify to be anywhere near these hotels. Let's see some of y'all's chats for now. Enjoy the silence. You always say hello. You've never been about monetization, and still you show up for hours defending those who don't have any voice. Thank you, Serge. You have all my respect. Well, thank you. Enjoy the silence. Okay, you guys, we don't give a shred of an F about the monetization or the garbage of this thing. This is literally, we literally don't give a shred of an F. You know, yes, it's an outlet. Yes, you know, I will share my art, and all of it is because that is who we are and that's how we're showing up. But we're not here to make a buck. We could literally care less. Like, we are pressed and we're having a voice and we're exercising that right in order to really, you know, be demanding the answers that we needed when we were having, you know, our own experience in there. So we need to be the advocate that we needed when we were stuck inside of that hotel. That's the only saving grace out of this, you guys. I mean, anything I say is what I needed someone to be saying for me, because what was going on for me, I didn't deserve. And all of y'all have shown up for me like that. And I now know that I'm completely 1000% certain that what was done to me and all the other kids could not be more nauseating and disgusting. And yes, it's going to be hard for everyone to reckon with the facts, but you know what? The sooner you do, the sooner you move on. Yes, growth is very uncomfortable AF. It'd be great to grab a little pair of rosy glasses and see it differently, but that doesn't change a shred of a thing for kids inside of the hotel. You know, it's like, if this shit, like I said, to all of you adults, had you really had a reckoning and gone, my God, what the hell am I doing? Let's just card everyone 21 and over. This all is what it would have taken to not have me talking about a shred of a thing. If this was instituted and there was a chance to really know, because they could be tricky, you guys, they could tell us, oh yeah, we're really just going to make 21 and up now, but we would need the police involved. We would need literal checkups inside of those hotels and be like, just like they do with alcohol establishments. Like, they don't trust the bars, so why would you trust these hotels? I mean, as if these hotels are not a trillion billion times more hardcore scene than any bar out there for a 21 and under. I mean, 21 and up to be involved in, you guys. That is what in the hell it's called. Y'all into a hardcore scene of your own. Scientology parents and people that really, oh, I really love it there. Well, great. Love it. Love it. And we don't have to convince you otherwise. Just make sure you're not implicated in felonies. Just make sure you don't get caught up locking up passports, locking up minors, interrogating them, asking them disgusting questions, allowing yourself to go wherever in the hell you want, because that is what in the hell effed with us. That's what in the hell we've had to reckon with. That is the reality of what it is, you guys. I mean, Amanda, shout out to our moderators, Case and the wonderful Joe. And it's great to see you here in the chat, Audit LA, who's one of these new members of the community that is actually from LA. You guys, like, she's not involved in Scientology. She has no reason to want to protest, but there's a lot of people in our community that are really waking up and wanting to really help. So that's really, really great. Kimberly, Serge, I will never know what all you live, but please know that there are lots of supports. Never, ever give in. Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you. Yeah, we're not going to give in, you guys. We're having a great time, you guys. Like I told you, like, yeah, these subjects that we're tackling are not, you know, roses are red, violets are green, but we don't give a shred of an F. Like, we're going to talk about anything that we need to talk about. Hello, Catherine. The wonderful Catherine is in the house. The test center is the lifeblood of the whole pack base. It's under the org board of LA org. Oh, interesting. Oh, that's right, because they made it. Now it makes sense, you guys, because they used to not have Sea Org members be the testing people. But then I just remembered, like Catherine said, then they made it into a Sea Org org, because LA org used to not be Sea Org. So then they made it into a Sea Org org. So the other one is where the people are not in the Sea Org, that they're still on staff, but they're on 2.5 and 5 year contracts. I think it's the 2 contracts that they could sign for the other ones. So they were not in the billion. Julie B, isn't that against federal law? Yes, Julie B. It's totally against federal law, and all manner of people are still playing dumb, like they don't know what in the hell we're talking about. So Audit LA. LAPD financially benefits from Scientology. That's right, you guys. And Scientology set it up that way. That's what they wanted. They wanted that. Great advice, Audit LA. Do you have a sample letter? And every person, we should write that that you can send us. Oh, well, here's the letter, you guys. Here's the letter to get into more receipts about the LAPD, actually. Okay, so here's our friend Audit LA that wrote to Chief Moore saying, I hope this message finds you well. I'm writing to bring your attention on a matter of significant concern regarding recent incidents involving Scientology. It has come to my attention that a false BOBM threat was reported, and there is reason to believe that it may be part of a larger pattern of fair game tactics against protesters. Given the seriousness of the situation and the potential impact on constitutionally protected free speech and peaceful protesting, I urge you to thoroughly investigate the matter. If it is found that Scientology or its sympathizers are behind the false BOMB threat, I kindly request that appropriate legal action be taken to hold them accountable. Furthermore, considering the reported attacks on protesters and the possibility of them being linked to fair game tactics, I encourage a comprehensive investigation into these incidents. It is crucial to ensure the safety of protesters and protect their constitutional rights. In addition to addressing the recent events, I would like to bring your attention to the long-standing human trafficking accusations against Scientology. I urge you to open a thorough investigation into these allegations, giving a voice to those who have lived through and suffered from such experiences. Lastly, I propose that Scientology be held financially responsible for the necessary use of police resources resulting from false BOMB threat. Taxpayers should not bear the burden of such actions, and reimbursement serve as a deterrent against future misuse of emergency services. I appreciate your attention to these matters and trust that your department will take appropriate actions to ensure justice and the protection of citizens' rights. Sincerely, Audit LA. And she's over on TikTok, you guys. Follow her there. So, do y'all want to know what Craig Hereda, captain and commanding officer of the Hollywood area, someone that I'm sure is very, 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 very familiar with Scientology, you guys. So here's what he says. Greetings. The Los Angeles Police Department is aware of an article published discussing protesters engaging with the Church of Scientology. So shout out to you, Rolling Stone magazine, that we already know what we said about that article, you guys. The Los Angeles Police Department will facilitate those seeking to exercise their First Amendment right while ensuring the safety of those affiliated with Scientology. Major Crimes Division is investigating a crime report of a BOMB threat in the 67 block of Hollywood Boulevard, which occurred on January 8th, 2024. This is still under investigation and no further information is available. This publication has also generated questions regarding false 911 calls allegedly being made. The Los Angeles Police Department has reported to large, boisterous groups on numbers of occasions in the 67 block of Hollywood Boulevard. However, it has not been determined that any of them are false. The Los Angeles Police Department will continue to be in contact with both Scientology and the protesters to ensure both parties' First Amendment rights are honored and crimes are not committed. Well, too bad for you, Craig Hereda, captain of the commanding officer of the Hollywood Boulevard, because you could really start answering that question for us. If you're so pressed, and you can put it here in your little statement that you really want to, you really, really do want to ensure that both Scientology and the protesters can really have their First Amendment right honored. It would be an honor for us to know why, that little passport issue is not any of y'all's concern. Because if you're going to tell us that, just because L. Ron Hubbard told his proteges on a piece of paper that it'd be great to really have a lot of control over the people that we recruit inside of these hotels. It would be great to really take all their documents and rename them valuable documents. So just like that, since they are kids, since they are naive, since they are gullible AF, since the parents dumped them here, since the parents couldn't be more implicated and groomed themselves, no one is saying the parents weren't groomed, you guys. That is a context. That is a fact. The parents can go hire criminal attorneys and advocates for themselves so they can make their own case to defend their own actions. So that's what's actually being asked of y'all, Scientology parents. You go get yourselves an advocate. You go and make your case on who scammed you. We don't have to carry that water for y'all. You can do that with your big adult body that you were back then, and you're now even more. So that's the advantage for y'all. It's not like you were, if you were naive and gullible back then, y'all have had so much time to not be that anymore. And your experience should teach you, oh yeah, I couldn't have had literally agreed to become a complete infantile, gullible, whatever in the hell L. Ron Hubbard said, we're all doing it. And as long as we all do it, everything is great. Well, you know what? It wasn't. So yeah, that's the answer from Craig Hereda, Captain Commanding Officer of the Hollywood area. And again, you guys, we've gone to these protests. We are peaceful protesting, and they're getting even more peaceful because, Sebastian's not there. No one's there. Scientology is just shielding its members, really pitching us as the predators, really pitching us as like, we really need to protect you from those. Let's really put a van so that no one can see you. And those are all tactics that they used on us inside of the hotel. Same thing when Lisa McPherson protesters were out there. So Scientology is only happy that the protest ended, because what they cannot stand is to be scrutinized. Because even the scrutiny, even back in the day when I would see that, like I told you many times already, like I thought it actually made me double down. It made me feel like, very much like us versus them. That's why I don't think any of those kids are necessarily going to see us there, and they're not going to leave because of what we're doing in there. They're going to leave because the abuse will get so unbearable inside, like Sebastian, for example. Whatever in the hell he's being tortured about, for having pulled this in, for really have ruined this whole thing for everybody. Because, again, like it's the literal people at the very bottom of this food chain, you guys, that get literally squashed to pieces. And, you heard it already, like, you could be like literally stepping on cockroaches at the Blue Building for the next 3 weeks as a job because of what he did. Karen Fartney, did the parents sign over guardianship to the cult? Yep, that's what they did. That is exactly what in the hell they did. Catherine, Sebastian and all those staff are going to be given PTS handlings, and that would leave to ethics. Correct. Because we are the suppressives, you guys. So anytime one of L. Ron Hubbard's proteges encounters a shred of pushback, you guys, no pushback is allowed. No questions are allowed. They're very convinced that whatever he wrote could not be questioned. No one has the right. No one has the rank. He couldn't have been more Buddha reincarnate. So that's how the page goes. Like when we go, well, yeah, Serge, but even if somebody writes, don't criticize me. Like I'm sure that, somebody does. No. Are you going to criticize Buddha? Are you literally going to criticize a god as much as they pitch him as founder sometimes, but then he's like a god and he started a religion? And I mean, the pitch is all over the place, you guys. It couldn't be more fraudulent if they tried. Mia Louise Travels. That really pisses me off. My passport is the most valuable. Yes, 100%. You guys, I mean, the passport's like, you don't have your passport, and it's like, yeah, good luck being a human. I mean, it's crazy that we depend on it that much. It's crazy that a piece of paper is part of what gives us our worth and tells people that we do have rights. You know what I mean? When you have no passport, you're nothing. You don't exist. And we were being kept under those conditions for not just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 years. All our formative years were with us having our personal documents being stolen from our very own selves. Julie B., only if the legal guardian gave the or guardianship of their children, they could not withhold those passports. Yeah, but even that, Julie, like, they did give them guardianship, but the passports shouldn't be locked up. Even the guardianship wasn't for that. Auditology. Hi, Serge. Yes, we're doing auditology, you guys. Today was auditology for sure. Y'all really kind of got behind the scenes on the audits. Why in the hell are they taking and keeping official government documents? Very good question, Mary Louise. They need to be stopped for sure. Dizzy, and the fact that there's a nun in that building knowing what's going on. You guys, I mean, that was a new character unlocked for us. Even I was shocked. I really thought that was like someone like literally kidding. I have no idea what kind of nun that could have been, because there were no nuns when we were there. Trust me, no nuns. I remember I read something about a church that can actually take some of your bills of rights away, regardless of abuse, like fasting hard. Yeah, maybe that, but you know what? Again, if you consent to disgusting, depraved things to be done to you as an adult, good, fine, whatever. Like, you have the right. But we're raising the awareness for the kids. The kids don't want that. My priority goal was to change my citizenship to live in a European country that would support human rights. So if I got trafficked again, I could seek help in a consulate of the country. Wow, Becky. Well, I'm sorry you had that. You know, you see, guys, there's so many ways that they can, you know, be in a really bad position. And let's see who else. Amanda, demand accountability. That's exactly right, you guys. We need accountability. Accountability is the only thing that we want. Anything else? No. Malinis, can we all have pinky sticky notes saying literally clear? Yes. Yes, you guys. Well, we are going to do that. I am doing some fun stuff. I know it's taking a while, but it's coming, guys. It's coming. I feel it in my bones. Shit of horror. Yes, Hamilton. It was so horrible. It's literally, yeah. And here, I want to really, I'm glad that you wrote it down. We're not going to say it, but y'all can see exactly what in the question is. You guys, if you've never seen an auditing session, then you wouldn't understand what is recorded and what can happen in those audits and what type of extremes it can get into. And that's what I'm calling, literally, because I don't know what else to call it, you guys. Like, having been an auditor myself, having been put in that position myself, having been lured, groomed, told to really interrogate like this and be like this, it's like, what else were we doing? People were having psychotic breakdowns in the middle of the audits. We were told, oh, just put him back in the chair. If people were breaking down, crying, it's like all of this was abuse and torture. And it was like a joke. These people watching this stuff from from a TV and just watching what was going on. I mean, I've told you guys about Lisa McPherson, like, you know, like she was going crazy and everyone's just watching from another room, a person going crazy. No one has a certificate. Everyone's just like, oh, L. Ron Hubbard, let's really like grab a, oh, look what it said here to do. L. Ron Hubbard really had a great idea over here. And it couldn't be more outrageous when you really think about it. So to me, that's just extreme. I don't even want to say the word, but it is just like the word is torture. It's like extreme, vile, unthinkable. Because it's all just, it's so senseless. Like, why? So let's make sure that that's fully clear. So, and as I said, it's like, to me, that's what in the hell it literally translated into. And, you know, it's just, we couldn't be more disgusted. I just realized they only talk about how Scientology was scary because if you left, oh, they're going to follow you. Well, this shit was the real horrors. Yeah, Hamilton, you know? And again, it's like all of this campaign to make it very scary for you to come forward. And aren't you so brave to really, you know, put yourself out there and take it for all of us? It's like, that's what's been disempowering survivors. You guys, if anything, I've learned from, you know, from this protest is that your power is your voice, that you give yourself the power. You know, the people that are protesting outside the center, the people that are recording what's going on, they have their power. They're sitting there in power. They're doing this because they want to. This is actually volunteering. This is what volunteering looks like, Monique Yingling. They're staying there till 12. Nobody has their passports locked away. They're doing it because they really want to save a literal scam from implicating more people. No more people should be implicated. And that is what's driving that movement. And that's what it's called, having a volunteer movement where people really want to come forward. Let's all really come together. Hey, you know, I'm working all day. There's people that are working all day and are just coming at night to protest, to be out there, to really record. What in the hell? You know, that's why all these people on the live streams are also tuning in, because they also want to find out and they also want to see. Plus, that Hollywood street, you guys, I mean, it's super fun, but the real horrors is Scientology. The real horrors is the audits. Scientology is the problem, not all this other whatever in the hell has been pitched. And again, you know, for you survivors of this thing, it's like, don't buy the pitch, but this is scary. Yeah, it's going to be very dangerous when you really do finally gain your power to call out the perpetrators, to call out the predators. I mean, this is a journey of empowerment. You know, when we went to the Eat Predators protest, as we were calling out all of that corruption with that attorney, it's like, that's what needs to be called out. If you don't call out that stuff, then what kind of change are you really making? I love Serge. Don't give a fuck about how the truth is disseminated by the public. It is more important to expose the crime that they are. F them. I mean, you guys, and to me, it boils down to, like, it's taken us this long to have to speak to this problem. And we've tried, I told you guys, the corporate media, who couldn't be more pathetic. All law enforcement, who couldn't be more pathetic. Our own parents, who couldn't be more pathetic. It's like everyone you would think would have done something about it plays dumb. And it's just not optional at this point to play dumb. And we're not going to make it optional. So we're getting the facts exposed. That's what y'all need to know. Like, y'all are tuning in to find out about this, not because we want to make them break the telenovela. Like, oh yeah, let's talk about the dysfunction inside of the hotels. Let's glamorize the dysfunction. Let's just really glamorize. Let's really make it entertainment. Let's really make it a cottage cheese industry of really getting in, entertaining y'all with all of this trauma and dysfunction and disgusting stuff. I mean, it's not like that for the people that are outside of the centers. I'll tell you that much. They don't give a shred of an F about blah, blah, blah. That's not the type of questions that they're interested in. That's not why they went to the gold base, to really find out about drama and tea and, oh, what was David Miscavige doing? They actually don't give a shred of an F about David. To be honest, you guys, it's like he comes up here and there, but it's like that's really like the last thing that they're interested in. So, yeah, I mean, we don't give a shred of an F. And the facts are the facts. We are the ones that spend the time inside of the hotel. So, again, we didn't ask to have that front row seat in front of that dysfunction. It wasn't our choice to consent to that, given that we were born literally inside of the hotels. Mummers, oh my goodness, it's absolutely disgusting. Thank you, Mummers. Yes. Becky Sam, all cults are predators and children are getting abuse in them. Yes, you guys. And again, you cannot tell adults what to do. If all we did as we started really going and thinking about, you want to believe that shit? Great. Well, be sure that any of the things that you're doing are not going to implicate you in literal child abuse. And take Ruby Frankie as an example. No matter how much peppering of God she put into literally tying up a kid, that didn't count, did it, when she went to the court? But thank God that her son did take it upon himself to leave and desperately go to a house and beg for help, which is something plenty of kids have done out of those hotels, you guys. But the Clearwater police always brought us back to our abuser. Oh yeah, here, Debbie Cook, this one escaped at the beach. Here. Oh, here, Debbie Cook, we just caught another one. There's another minor. So that's kind of how they were running their scheme, their disgusting scheme, you guys. Joe, can we think outside the box and we're not followers? We are very good allies and activists. Yes, exactly. We're all thinking outside the box, you guys. This is about activism, and it's not about following me, following this, following that. It's about following the facts. If we want to be advocates, we have to follow the facts, not a cult of personality. So this isn't about here and get a popularity contest and really get a lot of fans for yourself and really become a very famous. We've lived in Los Angeles enough to see that fame is nothing but a disgusting, ridiculous BS clown show. So no thanks. This isn't about any type of shred of fame. Who gives an F? Hey, Serge, would love to see you on Andrew Gold's show. He's talked about child abuse, and it would be great to get a show in the future. Thank you. Blah, blah, blah. I like your name. Amanda, I immigrated 16 years ago from the U.S., was an East Coast girl, New Jersey. Oh, well, shout out to you, Amanda. Let's see. Oh, Paris coming in with the tea, you guys. Jessica and Confident Chris found the recruiters in a new location right now. See, you guys, those kids, I mean, I'm telling you, that's actually, those are real investigator intuitions, you guys, and they're driven by that. Their intuition is what's guiding them. They smell the rat. They smell the rat, and they know that all it's going to take is for them to continue there. And it's almost like, it's like the walls of that delusion are starting to like literally crumble, because that's all it was. So I'm glad to know that they're on the hunt, you guys. We got all manner of people helping, which is the beautiful thing about 2024. All manner of activists and people that feel that we can finally empower instead of not empower. Serge, you mentioned kids giving adults massages at the hotels. This is tactics. This was something I've known other predators to do to kids. It's sick. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. I mean, Elwin Hubbard gave them this BS, assists and, oh, yeah, but everything had a massage table. And, you had a bunch of teenagers inside of these hotels, you guys. All the teenagers were going through puberty. All these teenagers were literally in locked up close quarter hotel quarters with these adults. It was a complete recipe cook to utter disaster. So all manner of horrible, highly inappropriate AF, unthinkable relationships developed. And the thing is, the Scientology executives really sold the pitch to themselves that they couldn't have been more ethical by implicating themselves in practicing law without a license. Because like as I said, that their hotel ethics couldn't have been more ridiculous AF. Let's just say that. Let's audit Scientology hotels. Kids cannot consent. That's right, Paris. We're gonna continue auditing them, you guys, and more people are showing up. More and more people are showing up. So that's what's good. Thank you for all you're doing, Serge. Love you. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you for all that everyone is doing, you guys. Everybody has a voice, and the important thing is that everyone is using it. What's up, chemist? Beachcomber. Follow Jessica Palmedesa. Oh yeah, and a shout out to Jessica, you guys. It's her birthday today, so shout out to Jessica. Go Shorty is your birthday. We'll definitely party like it's her birthday today. Travolta is hosting a Living Legends of Aviation Awards show next Friday. Well, isn't that great, you guys? Little John Travolta, that really is parading around in his little jet. Very much would really understand John Travolta. Why in the hell you need such a big jet? What in the hell are you transporting in your literal industrial sized jet that you really want to tell everyone you're flying everywhere? Because you know what? Nothing makes sense with that man either, you guys. He couldn't be more fake. He couldn't be more literally funding the hotel. He couldn't be the person to blame for Lisa Marie being exposed to this BS. You are the reason Lisa Marie ended up as a child implicated inside of that hotel, John Travolta. So for that, you will never be forgiven. You, the FSM of literal kids that ended up inside of those hotels. So all of you who says, oh, he's so nice, la, 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 la. You guys, it's all fake smokescreen. They're just PR. John Travolta is unhinged. John Travolta tells everyone, go really read book 1 to really find out what I'm all about. And as we already said, you guys, we did read that book and we did find that pitch about the 7-year-old girl, John Travolta. So just that one single pitch. And, we can grab a million things that are wrong with that book, you guys. But let's just say that we really just pressed about that one. That one really caught our attention. Right, you guys? Because if you cannot really defend the 7-year-old girl getting kissed by an adult and having no problem with it, otherwise the girl would have had a problem. If you really cannot explain that with a straight face, why in the hell would we even bother to talk about anything else mentioned in that book or given any credence or given any value? Because that's actually what we're saying. That's actually what we're saying. So we're going to continue to expose all of these receipts that we're having, you guys. We have a lot more coming. And, it's a good day to be empowered is a good way to be on a recovery journey altogether, witnessing the truth and really inspiring courage, because courage is contagious, and that's a good thing. You know, as much as horrible things can also be contagious, like the scourge of L. Ron Hubbard, really, you know, indoctrinating all his proteges to become entitled abusers and really think that they're doing a wonderful job. Just like that spread inside of those hotels, it can also be reversed by showing courage. It can also be reversed by showing actual grace. And grace, what it looks like, is asking these tough questions, like we saw in Kelly Copter's live. We are allowed to ask tough questions. There's no reason we're not allowed to ask questions. In the hotels, we couldn't ask questions. When we got out, we couldn't ask questions. Everything had to be approved by everyone that was following the narrative, because that is what in the hell they've always done. Between Hollywood and Scientology, they control the narrative through their publicist, as if TikTok is not literally being manipulated. And literally, guys, like I already said this yesterday, but they've been canceling the live stream, saying that they're spreading misinformation. And that is the work of OSA. That is the work of OSA talking to the president's office at Celebrity Center and saying, don't you know the people at TikTok? Because don't we send them a lot of celebrities, and don't we have a lot of Scientology influencers that really love that platform, that would really, you would really hate to lose these TikTokers, wouldn't you? We really need you to, you know, squash this away for us. And TikTok is there doing that. So there's all manner of corrupt entities involved in silencing us and blocking us from advocating for kids. And yet we don't give a shred of a literal F that they're doing that, because lucky for us, YouTube is not doing it. So you showing up with us, you witnessing what we're witnessing and continuing to expand this fight is what's going to erode the facade of this disgusting hotel operating with full impunity, being enabled by the corporate press and the so-called law enforcers that are nowhere to enforce a shred of a law, and the corporate press that are nowhere to show a shred of an investigation worth a literal dime. So those are the bad news, you guys. The enforcers, the ones that are supposed to do the job, they're nowhere to be found. They couldn't be more abysmal. They couldn't be more pathetic. They couldn't be more ineffective. They couldn't be more, oh, it's everything's so hard to do our job. Well, that's fine. And it's about to get harder, because now that you're not being part of the solution, you are all the problem. Y'all are the problem. So context is everything. The people inside of the hotel have the context. They are under the spell of L. Ron Hubbard. The media doesn't have that excuse. They don't have that excuse at all, you guys. And the amount of money that the corporate media has sucked up, and they will, believe you me, when the lawsuits continue to expand, the media is going to be like, oh my God, you guys, let me really share you this new story. They just want to come when they're going to be making money. But they don't want to do their job. Like as the Tampa Bay Times, for how many decades, they literally have pitched the most BS, glib, nothing to do with the actual reality of what in the hell they should have been concerned with in the first place. Situationship. So that's just for you, Thomas E. Tobin, to not get very confused. Oh, you think David Miscavige is going to be your problem? We are your problem, Thomas E. Tobin, not David Miscavige. You're scared of David Miscavige. You're scared of OSA. You're scared of pathetic people that would literally shred all the laws and do everything corrupt and criminal. Well, that's why you have such a horrific newspaper, 501c, that couldn't be more useless or pathetic. As much as you purport, oh, Tampa Bay Times, one of the best newspapers in the countries, you guys. Please. You couldn't be more pathetic. You couldn't be more Zero critical thinking skills. You couldn't be more easily influenced by every last adult that you have cleansed the image of. So deal with that, Thomas C. Tobin, launderer of images for executives that left the hotel. The investigator that flubbed it all. The gullible, pathetic influence person that really went with the story. Oh, you guys, we're really going to tell you the truth. The truths run down. We're going to continue digging into that little truth, you guys. We're going to continue auditing the media. So we're going to continue specifically telling you what in the hell you done wrong, Thomas C. Tobin. Literally line by line. Here you did this wrong. Here you did this wrong. Here you did this wrong. Here you flubbed it. Because the media gets a literal flunk, you guys, for everything they've done. They couldn't be more pathetic in enabling this systemic thing that happened to us. Because every time they say anything, they just pitch lies. The media is the one that's been literally grooming everyone in Clearwater to think that this was a church, to think that they're just like every other church and we should all just be so accepting of everything because we really want to accept all churches. And yeah, no one's saying don't accept churches. Do whatever in the hell you want to do inside of a church, inside of those hotels. Church things aren't taking place. And that's what your problem is, Thomas C. Tobin. You explain that to us. Explain it to us, editor that you are. Really great with your words that you are to type a lot of stuff. Really use that brain of yours to explain to the public, you know, why your university education, why your position, why your whatever in the hell they're paying you to really run that scam, sham, BS newspaper that you run. Explain that. Explain that really well for yourself because we got receipts that don't match, bro. The literal receipts could not be making any shred of sense. And, you know, we're not just interested in literally hitting with a bat all the perpetrators and predators that were inside of the hotel. We need the enablers like you. We need the people that cradle and canoodle them because you refuse to literally do your due diligence on them. And you just, whatever the hell they pitch you, you just typed like a little stenographer. Here, breaking news. Here, more breaking news. Here, more breaking news. Everything they said, no pushback, no pulling string, no looking behind, not digging deeper, no follow-ups. I mean, your record is abysmal, Thomas C. Tobin. Your literal record speaks for its damn self. So before you really want to go, oh, you wouldn't know, Serge. I get you're so pressed because poor you, you're in a cult. You don't know how the news business work. Please, please. Save that little justification for your 501c board of directors. Literally save that one for him, for them. Tell him. Tell him that we are out of our mind and we shouldn't be going after the newspaper because they were really trying your best. Y'all have enabled and laundered the images. Imagine Jelaine gets the treatment Debbie Cook got when she left Jeffrey's ring. Oh yeah, here, Jelaine, weren't you abused? Oh, where, Jelaine? Were you stuck in a place, you know, bondaged and not able to leave and punished and pissed on and put in a trash can like Debbie Cook? Oh, well then, what was your psychology for that? Why did that happen to you, Jelaine? Let's really talk about that because we really need to understand why that was happening to you. How many underage kids did Jelaine implicate? 80. How many did you implicate, Debbie Cook? What, 1,000 over 10 years? So yeah, you're like 1,000 times worse than Jelaine. Or let's be fair, 10x worse. If she did 80, you did 1,000. So maybe, what is it, 10.5 or maybe 11% X more, whatever it is, you guys, whatever it is. But there are receipts that don't make a shred of sense. And y'all are going to be joining us on this journey to make them all make sense very, very fast. So thank you for all that have been in this chat. And I will see you all very, very soon. Thank you and bye-bye.